Today at the conference was a beginning, but also an ending. It was an ending in the sense that this is the end of our semester. Our course has come to a close. We've done this one semester-long experiment with the perennial turn and what that means and what that could look like. But at the same time, it was a beginning because we got to hear the opinions and experiences of several different panelists coming from varied backgrounds, but all of whom have thought deeply about how we need to change our social institutions, change our agricultural systems in order to better reflect the interdependence and the interconnectedness of everything in our universe. So I really appreciated all of the words that the panelists brought, all of their insight, because it just felt like everything I'd learned in class had been backed up by these people who are living this out, whether that's in their foundations or on their farms. They're living out the perennial turn, and it just gave me a lot to hope for. It was really a moment of hope for me because it showed me what is possible and that there are people who are on the ground already doing this, and it made all of the work that we did this semester feel so worth it, and just know that it's going somewhere and that this is going to continue to open new paths and that people are going to continue to look into what the perennial turn could mean in the future.
So the idea was, let's bring folks together who are not only thinking about food, but also about transformation. So we had educators, we had activists, we had people focused on the science of perennial polycultures there.
Helping students understand that the world is interconnected, that students have the ability to make a difference, and that they can be agents of change. And so there's a lot around nourishing educators, helping the learning process nourish the land, and have the land nourish the learning cycles.
This conference is about nourishing change in ag and culture, and that means feeding ourselves in all ways, materially, but also communally, spiritually, imaginatively, practically. And so in that type of conversation, it's important to have multiple perspectives and ways of knowing brought to the table, because those different knowledges and ways of knowing contribute to the richness of the conversation and also the strength of it, the durability of what's possible.
The plants, animals, life is our relatives. The plants and animals, we share, we're peers. We're peers. The animals and plants came before us, so we were asked by our Creator to be good stewards of the land, and then the land would take care of us if we took care of the land. And we've always worked in harmony for thousands of years, so part of what we try to do is kind of bring back, look to the past to know where our future's going.
The perennial turn is thinking both about grains and brains. I'll say that in a second. Grains, for a long time we've used a certain way of growing our food, and it's mostly in the grains. It has affected how we think. It literally has shaped how we control and organize the world. We need new grains, and we have those on the horizon, and we hope that those new grains will help inform a new way of thinking.
We look at those ancient seeds, and I said, well, let's partner with people like Sterling College that's here and people like Middlebury to help grow our crops. That gives us the opportunity to educate about our people, our ways, and what these crops mean to us.
So I'm here today representing Soulfire, trying to make some connections, inspire other folks to do work in the world around food justice.
And just like in dealing with our history and our truth of our history, we have to acknowledge what is actually going on for us to be able to create any kind of like equity, fairness, growth, healing. So it makes me think about the discomfort of that history and the way that that affects folks in like white guilt or like internalized racism, and how it can really freeze people. But I'm thinking about there just being so many opportunities for healing and creativity. And I'm thinking about like the reparations map project that we started recently at Soulfire Farm, which is just like people-to-people opportunity to change the scale of what we're seeing today, where less than 2% of the farmers in this country are Black folks.
Thinking about the work that you all have been writing about and thinking about over this course of this class, you are doing the community engaged work of learning that we would love to see in every single class at Middlebury.
Do what's in front of you, but do it with presence and intentionality and real examination of why am I taking this step, and not what's in it for me, but what am I connected to, and you know, just the purposeness behind it.
Look, none of us know the answers, and I think what I'd like to leave you with is a thing that I come from a very humble background, but a very proud one. So I'm going to leave you with my father always told me, never be afraid to fail.
I think what happened today is a lot of really intelligent people with a lot of different resources came together with big hearts and curiosity and compassion and desire to learn and create more fairness and equity. One of the conversations folks were talking about, well, maybe like major transformation is too big, or maybe like we're trying to do too much with that, but it's like, no, I think we need to do everything we possibly can and see it as our personal responsibility, because if not us, then who? And so that is what I want to leave with.